Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. But before we jump on in, I want to say I hope everybody had a great weekend. It is officially Halloween for those who do celebrate it. Happy Halloween. But yeah, with everything happening around XRP, the entire XRP community, we've been watching a few things. We've been watching the SEC case closely, and a lot of people have been expecting this to really be over by now. But I do think that this case is nearing its ending point. I honestly think that the SEC is exhausted at this point. We're going to get to that point, and we're going to really kind of talk about that. But also, I think that the SEC is about to face a reckoning that they've never faced before. And this could end the SEC once and for all. And I'm talking about getting rid of the SEC, disbanding it, and having the clear evidence of corruption see the light of day. Now, with all that in mind, let's dive in and let's talk about this tweet here from Jeremy Hogan. We do see, why is it important that numerous amicus briefs have been filed in the Ripple versus SEC case? An AB is called a friend of the court, and historically, ABs have been filed only in appellate and top-level courts where difficult issues are being resolved. As far as I know, the record for number of ABs is 78, and those were filed in an abortion case in the 80s that made its way to the U.S. Supreme Court. That being said, is it normal to see numerous ABs in a trial-level case? Definitely not. The judge's liberal allowance of amicus briefs in this trial-level case would seem to suggest that she understands that the issues involved are complicated, novel, and that the ruling will affect a large group of people and/or industry, and I think that's a good thing. And yeah, I think that last sentence there, talking about the people and/or an industry, is key to focus on. Remember that this case affects everything. Everything crypto-driven, everything crypto-wide. When we look at that, right, you got to remember that crypto during November of 2021 hit $3 trillion in market cap. This entire industry was worth $3 trillion. This is not a small industry anymore. And it hit $3 trillion in its infancy. We are extremely early still on this technology. We are extremely early in this entire industry, and this case will affect everything going forward. This entire case is extremely important, not only for Ripple and XRP, but for this entire industry. We also have this article over here that got posted by Rosalind Layton, and it does say crypto law experts suggest SEC likely to lose key case and discredit Howey test. First off, I just want to say that this entire article is incredible from start to finish. Now, it's a very long article. It's about 8 minutes long if you read it fully. We are not going to read the entire thing. We don't have that much time, but I will say a few things about this. So first off, when we really look at things happening around this lawsuit, we go back to 2020 of December. I remember when this lawsuit first got announced. I was not making YouTube videos at that time. I was strictly just talking about crypto and XRP on Twitter. Now, at the time when this lawsuit came out, I was heavy in XRP. I'm not gonna be transparent on the value that I had in XRP, but just know that it was a significant amount. Now, when the lawsuit got announced, we seen XRP completely collapse. It went from like 60 cents down to 17 cents. Now, during that time, the entire Twitter community around XRP was in shambles. Fear everywhere. You've seen 0 calls, 5-cent calls. XRP is done. It's finished. Get out of the scam. It's garbage. We still see some of those claims today as well, but back in that time, it was everywhere. You could not look up XRP without seeing a negative article, a negative tweet. I mean, now, 2 years later, and I think people are really seeing the overall image that is being painted before their eyes. Almost 2 years later, the SEC faces a painful reckoning because Ripple decided to fight back. as did tens of thousands of retail users of XRP who have no connection to Ripple other than being co-victims of the government's behavior. And I think that this right here, Ripple deciding to fight back, is the biggest thing here, because I don't think that the SEC expected Ripple to fight back. You got to remember that the SEC was going after clean wins. Listen, do I think that, Chris and Brad were selling XRP? Yeah, sure, 100%. And they did have the choice to settle, but they didn't. In fact, they said, you know what? We're not doing this. We're going to fight. And I think that that was the best decision that they've ever made. And I also think that it was an incredible decision for the entire industry as well. Why? Well, first off, like I said, the SEC, most of their litigation cases are quick money grabs. This has been known. Publicity stunts, ego chasing, motives. At the end of the day, they were not expecting this. And I think they're reckoning. The time of reckoning is coming soon for the SEC. Listen, these articles, or I shouldn't say articles, these events going all the way back to 2017 paint a vivid picture. We do see over here, Clayton goes to One River to push Bitcoin and Ethereum. At the SEC, Hinman collected $15 million from his law firm, a board member of EEA, and is now a partner at Andreessen's $2.2 billion crypto fund, the same investors who helped write the speech. These are facts, and they are not in dispute. This is from John E. Dean, and these are all these major events around this entire case, including XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. This is known facts, okay? And when we look at this, right, we also see over here that among her jabs at the SEC Gov, this is quoting the article that I just looked at, Attorney Jeremy Hogan, who has followed the case on his popular YouTube channel, says the SEC can only prevail with its summary judgment motion if Judge Torres forgets her first year of law school. In my opinion, listen, this case is finished for the SEC. I don't believe that there's any way that the SEC could win this case. I've said this time and time again. This case is done. And I even said it in a video recently that I didn't want to put too much more of a spotlight attention on this case, but this case will change everything going forward. This case is a huge stepping stone for the entire industry. Do I think that XRP is going to prevail as a big winner out of it? Yeah, 100%, but it's not going to, it's not the only focus that I have. And like I said, the SEC right now is seeing immense amount of pressure being put on its shoulders. We do see over here, just in, Senate Republicans want the SEC to explain why staff are leaving the nation's corporate watchdog at the highest rate in 10 years amid a flurry of proposed rules per Reuters. Yeah, I mean, listen, when we look at what's happening at the SEC, they are crumbling. Their arguments, everything happening from the SEC is going downhill. This is why I say, XRP will most likely come out of this case with regulatory clarity. We will see mass adoption of XRP for on-demand liquidity. We will see Ripple continue to expand rapidly as they already are doing so now. And I think that this entire industry will benefit greatly from this. I even shared this on multiple occasions when I looked at the XRP price chart. First off, real quick, when we look at the XRP price chart, this is coiling up on a perfect fib level and on some major support on the daily. This is the 50-day EMA. On balance volume, by the way, looks very good. Has been looking very good all the way going back to September. When we look at this, though, this is sitting on the 236. This is a great area that we were sitting on in the past as we kind of coiled up back in 2021 before this major breakout event, up to almost $2 right now. As we sit, this would be right around the same range. We would be targeting that $2 range, breaking out of it, going into price discovery, possibly going to the all-time high, and then really kind of breaking out to some of these new highs up here. But nonetheless, as we really kind of look at this case, and when we look at all the events leading up to what's happening around XRP, do I think that the price of XRP is going to go absolutely parabolic once we see an announcement that Ripple wins and XRP has, clarity? We don't know. Listen, nobody knows what the price of XRP is going to, be after the settlement happens. But I will say this: as we look at XRP going all the way back in terms of on-balance volume, by the way, going all the way back to 2020, okay, December of 2020, on-balance volume has been pretty, I would say, I mean, you can see it right here. I mean, since going all the way back to even 2021, it had just been in a straight line sideways. And there's not been too much change here. I mean, you can see some of the amounts here. It's like 7 some billion, as you guys do see up here. On balance volume looks incredible, and it has looked incredible for a while. And I'm waiting for a big spike here to push the price above a significant resistance zone. Could that happen if we do see a possible settlement? It's questionable. But I do think that the entire industry, though, not only XRP, could benefit greatly from having a full-on announcement around regulatory clarity. I think that crypto itself could ultimately be massively adopted after that is instated. Everywhere around the world is moving extremely fast on regulations and adopting crypto. It would be in the US's best interest to move forward and fast on crypto regulation, and this could significantly increase the amount of money that comes into crypto in terms of trillions. I've said this time and time again in the past. When we actually look at crypto and when we actually addressed how much money there is that could possibly flood in here, it's in the possible tens to hundreds of trillions of dollars long term. But also, I think that when we look at the $3 trillion all-time high for crypto, let me actually put this back down on the top here. That $3 trillion is just a beginning point for crypto. Going forward, I do think that this market will hit a possible $10 trillion plus market valuation, which is going to be insane to say the least, but it is a good starting point on where this market is headed. I've said time and time again that this entire case is beneficial if you are a holder of just any token. But XRP being the only digital asset to have full-on regulatory clarity is going to be a huge win for just XRP. But I do think that this is going to morph into reality around the entire US, finally announcing, okay, crypto assets are here to stay. We are going to move forward on adopting them or adopting crypto-driven systems. They probably won't say that exact sentence, but it will be well known at that point that they are going to move forward on crypto. And they've already been kind of talking about this for a while. We just talked about Texas actually moving forward on digital asset use cases as well as custody, which is very exciting. And also during all this entire time, while we do talk about on-balance volume, we have been seeing millions and millions of XRP being shifted. In fact, over here, massive XRP whales shift 313 million XRP in one fell swoop, which is insane. But we have been seeing a lot of this being moved around. And here you guys have the whale alert. It's 313.2 million XRP, worth about $148 million. Over here, again, we did see about 30 million XRP being moved from an unknown wallet to Bitstamp. And then yet again, we did see about 40.6 million XRP, worth about almost $20 million, being moved around. Now, what's the significance of all of these? Not much, but it is insane to say the least to look at how much XRP is being moved around by some of these whale wallets. It also shows you that, listen, at the same time as we see a lot of this happening, we are seeing massive amounts of XRP being moved around, being bought, being sold, whatever. Doesn't matter. All we know is that we are seeing huge amounts being moved. We are also seeing a lot of things aligning perfectly. For example, around this golden cross down here, which I don't think that we mentioned, but we just seen XLS 20 possibly being fully going live, which was huge. And then we also seen a lot more tokens being moved as well. Whales moved more than 150 million tokens in minutes. All while we did see the Q3 2022 report come out that 3 billion XRP were released out of the escrow at 1 billion per month following previous quarters, and the official escrow agreement, Ripple holding less than 50% of XRP. And also, Ripple now runs 4 of the XRP ledgers more than 130 validator nodes. So a lot of adoptions happening, a lot of movements happening. The reports are showing us that XRP is being adopted and utilized on a major scale, and I look forward to the day where we do see mass adoption of on-demand liquidity, and I think that day is going to happen once we do see this case being fully finished and we can finally step away from talking about the SEC, because it does get tiresome, and I'm sure that you guys are probably all aware of this at this point as well, that this entire case is just kind of nonsense. I mean, we have just been waiting and waiting and waiting. We've been waiting for 2 years for this case to finally be over, and I do think that we are getting there. We just have to be a little bit more patient. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Guys, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.